Hey, what's up? Video Game Guru here. And today's topic is something that I have personally mulled over for the longest time and heard the ongoing debate. But at this point, I feel it's time for me to finally throw my hat into the gambit. Or whatever that phrase is. Throw my 2 cents into the pot? Yeah, whatever. Either way, I got something to say about it. And that topic that I will be discussing today with all you fine sirs and madams out there is the absolute necessity of physical copies remaining in the landscape of gaming. When it comes to physical copies versus digital copies, sure, the argument can be made for the fact that the physical takes up more space. Some people might say it causes more pollution. Some people would say that it's absolutely unnecessary with some of the things and trinkets you get incentivized to pre-order or buy the special edition for. Some folks say that what you get anyway, considering their lack of content with making a physical copy, for example, the old instruction booklets, unique cover art, certain things that would just come with the games back in the day as far as like maybe stickers, decals, those things being removed from the landscape of more often than not, your hard copies makes them non-viable, makes them non-important. You might as well move on to digital. But I feel the counter argument to that has shown itself more recently in the recent years with the practices of gaming companies, the outright lies, and the fact that the quality of games that we get per year or even by quarterly period seem to differ greatly. So with this, I want to discuss some major points that I feel are pertinent to the argument of keeping physical copies alive and well. First, I'll just start out with some basic comparisons. One of the biggest reasons, in my opinion, the maybe second biggest reason, why we need to keep physical copies on the shelves and stores that can help us procure those would be the fact that we get ripped off a lot. What are you talking about? Some people would say. Mass Effect Andromeda, for those that remember that. Fallout 76, for those that remember that. Destiny and Destiny 2, for never giving you a complete game no matter what they say. No Man's Sky, which wasn't complete until a full year afterwards and was still pretty lackluster. Anthem, which was a clusterfuck, a PR nightmare, an unfinished game, a hype beast that was absolute trash, and now all support has left it. And, for the most recent controversy, The Last of Us 2. Nothing fundamentally wrong with the game as far as gameplay goes, or how it's been optimized, or how it looks graphically, but a lot of people are not down with the heart of the story. So to them, it feels like a ripoff, and some people would want their money back. But due to certain shady practices, returns were not available there for a little while. They had to stay in the hands of the gamers for reasons unbeknownst to us after we already gave money up to begin with. And if you have a receipt and it fits the return policy, you gotta give me my stuff back. So, we have a lot of things in the realm of gaming, and those are just a couple of sporadic examples throughout the past few years to show exactly why we need recourse. We need to be able to return these things when they don't work. We need to be able to say, you know what? I fucked up. I shouldn't have spent that money. I dropped the ball. I fell into the hype beast. I got on the train and I did not look back one time to see that all the cars detached and it was just me and a couple other idiots on this ride. So, can I come in with my receipt and get my money back? Well, no. Because when you buy things online, you get credit. Sometimes it goes back to your account, sometimes, but that's usually a 2 to 3 day hold. Or you get, oh, well, you spent your money, but now we're going to turn it into a redeemable currency that's only usable in our store instead of just credit in general, or even a gift card that we could give you. Sorry, that doesn't fly. That seems shisty, that seems sneaky, and especially with the fact that we are glorified beta testers at this point with certain projects that come out in a completely unfinished and unexcusable state. Inexcusable state? I can't get behind everything going digital. I've seen too much to go wrong with it. Now, a counterpoint to that, people could bring up the years where we had fantastic games, like the year God of War came out. Red Dead Redemption 2 came out. Devil May Cry 5, Resident Evil 2, Sekiro, Spider-Man for PS4, Dragon Ball Fighter Z, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. What about those games? What about those, Video Game Guru? We have so many great titles that come out, and you want to know what the coincidence is between all of those? That was all 2018. Let that sink in. We have not had a year of consistent blockbuster hits like that since 2018. Now, I'm not saying every year has to be perfect. There's highs and lows. But the reason I made the comparison of the past couple years to all that being lumped into 2018 with all the good titles, don't you think we need recourse in between the lack of innovation? Don't you think we need a way to say, once again, everything I said earlier, I don't like this, I want my money back, you flat out lied, this is a broken game, it's not an optimized game, it doesn't have what you advertise. With all that being said, we need to be able to walk into whatever establishment that we got the game from and say, no thank you, check the purchase history, take my receipt, go into your customer service database, do what you got to do, but give me my money back. I don't want this. And maybe next time, I'll use my money on a game that's worth it. Or I'll just hold out for the IP that fill-in-the-blank company actually gives a shit about, instead of the fillers that they put in between to just siphon money from our pockets. Now, moving on to the next topic, I feel definitely holds credence in this argument, would be preference for the collectors. Everything being pushed to a digital fashion kind of goes against certain people's gaming preferences. The reason some people even play games and certain types of games is because they love the aspect of collection. They love the aspect of being able to get everything that is encompassed within the realm of that game's universe. Sometimes that includes the box itself that the game comes in that may have unique cover art, the special edition, the collectible statues, the albums that come with it, the signed steel books. Now, sometimes you can still get these things with a digital copy, but it just doesn't hold the same weight, and certain digital copies don't give away all the swag that comes with other things when you get the physical edition. It's definitely a preferential mindset, but once again, if someone is taking $63.59 at minimum, then I feel they should have a bit more say with what they get, and they should have a few more options. Sure, $63.59 isn't, the largest amount of money, but it ain't chump change either. It could be a bill, it could be gas in your car for the week, could be some groceries. With that being said, it should be a solid and sound investment in which you feel comfortable giving that money away. Another factor would be faster install times. Sure, it all depends on the type of internet speeds that you have when you're getting something digitally, but it is undeniable that when you put a disc in, you are able to play that game that much faster. When considering the size of the games that we have nowadays, hundreds of gigabytes, soon to be more, I feel that a slightly faster way to get into that world that you spent that money on or waiting for, it's not impossible to ask for. Some people might say it's minor, but once again, that's preferential, and this is my opinion. But I know other people that enjoy the physical copy because you pop the disc in, you can play in 30 minutes. As an adult, that means that's maybe 30 minutes of some more productivity you could do. Maybe you could take care of some stuff around the house before you start shoveling hours of your life away into that game. Maybe you can finish dinner. Maybe you can do some chores around the house. I don't know. But considering the fact that it's something that we've all just been kind of shoehorned into with now the game has to install instead of it actually just being all on the disc. Games are bigger, games are more difficult to make. I get that, but since that is what we have to do now, it makes sense to have multiple options of I want to play it a little bit sooner. And if you don't have the fastest internet because that's the way your life is structured, I don't feel it's unreasonable for someone to ask for that instead of being told, well, then you should just get better internet and you wouldn't have to worry about it. And that's kind of an asinine thing to say. This point kind of goes towards the next generation of gaming and the price point, with them saying that it's going to be $70 per game. No. Excuse me? Why? $63.59 right now. Why do you need to tack on a couple more dollars? I don't see the point behind that, and if that's what they end up doing, I feel that game sales will probably go down until they start making bangers to make everybody not care about the price point. But with that being said, if the prices of games are steadily increasing, I need a few more guarantees on the fact that it is justified. You allowing me to get a physical copy, which allows me to go in to the store, return it if I want to, shows me that you have faith in your product. If you up your prices and then slowly start pulling away the ways for me to actually say, no thank you, this isn't what you advertised and you lied, from the numerous examples I gave earlier and the numerous examples us gamers can go look for on our own later, that seems deceitful and underhanded. You can't raise the price and then tell me, don't come back in the store asking for that back, by the way. Just come by the next one. What? That sounds like some criminal shit. I don't like it. It doesn't sit right with me. I understand once again that with the times, things become a bit more difficult to produce, but you should still have your integrity as a business, company, corporation, salesperson to let someone know, hey, if this isn't for you, we have other options that don't require you to dig back into your pockets for more. We can just shuffle that out and give you yours back if you need to, financially, whatever you want to do. It shows that you have confidence in what you're making. The way things are going, it just doesn't look like that to me. It just seems like prices are being upped and opinions from us, the gamers that these are made for, are getting shut out. For those that this applies to, digital games make it difficult to have hand-me-downs, to be able to pass on that collection of games to someone else. Not many people are probably going to just hand over their computer. They're probably going to upgrade it. They're probably going to hold on to that for quite some time until they need to build an entirely new rig, which means that you can't really pass things off to your friends. You can't pass them down to your kids. You can't let someone just, borrow it willy-nilly. Sure, you can profile share. Not everyone has that option. Not everyone's that tech savvy. Not everyone wants to. But you know what is easy? Keeping all those games that you've beat, looking at your collection, saying, I remember the good times with those. And then looking over at your kid, cousin, friend, whomever, and saying, oh, you never played that? You never played Red Dead Redemption 2? Seriously? Alright, you know what? I beat it twice already. Yeah, no, go ahead, you can borrow it. Yeah, just go ahead, take the disc, install it, have a good time. If I were to have that digitally, I would have to say, oh, well, you can go ahead and install my profile on yours, make sure that my profile is then set to yours as the home console. After that, you can install it, but you can only play it when I'm not online, because if I'm online, I'm going to kick you off. So you need to, what? No. Can I just borrow the game? Well, yeah, you can, but you got to go through all those steps if you want to do that. That's so convoluted. Just get the physical copy, and when you're done with it, pass it around. Pass it around like that village doorknob. Let everybody get a try. Let everybody have fun. Let them borrow it for a day or two. Some people say that would kill sales, or depending on the style of game, that would incentivize that friend to then buy it themselves. If it has multiplayer capabilities, replayability value that's relatively high, it's not a detriment to someone buying the game. I've heard people try to make those arguments before. And once again, if the game is made of quality and was produced with integrity, and the people behind the production of that actually feel good about what they put out, chances are that person borrowing it will want to buy it. Unless, you just have really good friends and they let you borrow stuff for the longest time possible. Shout out to the couple of homies out there that'll let me do that themselves. Now, on to the final point of why we need to keep physical copies of games. And that would be, how are we going to keep our small trade stores open and have that sense of community in gaming and make those new friendships if everything is done online? Where I'm from, there's a small store called Tops Trade Center. Been going there since I was 5. So, do the math, it's about 23 years that I've been going to the store. I have met friends, I have met rivals in gaming, I have met people I can have good, deep conversation with. And that's all because of the fact that I had a place that was brick and mortar to go to actually be in the element of one of my favorite hobbies and pastimes. Also, because of that, there's games that I never would have seen that I was able to pick up. Maybe some indie titles or games that said digital only, but they made a small handful of physical copies, and guess what? They got cycled through that store, and not for the ridiculous full price either sometimes. For 45 bucks, because it's used, it's been here for 2 weeks, we follow the trends, and it's not doing that hot, and we need to move this product. Therefore, we're okay with cutting this $60 game down to 45. Really? Well, if that's the case, I feel more inclined to buy it and give it a shot. And at that point, I'm playing the game, I'm showing online presence, it's doing well for the servers and lobbies. People see that the game is being played. If the company actually made something good, but that one person didn't enjoy it, I now had the option to pick it up at a price point that didn't feel like I was being gouged for, so I gave it a shot. And now they see that people really enjoy it. Maybe not the initial audience that it was intended for, but it's still being played. It still gives feedback, as opposed to the game is bad, it has bad reviews, give me all the money or give me no money, and then for reasons XYZ, when the critics make the reviews, you're a bigot, you're this, you're that, you're wrong. Gaming stores give you options. You can trade things in, so that way you don't have to spend any money at all. You're not getting raked over the coals when it comes time to make a major purchase. You have old school nostalgic stuff like retro systems, extremely retro like NES with games still on the shelves. You have old hardware that you might not be able to find anywhere else. If everything goes digital, places like these get shoved out. Your small communities get shoved out. People that make a living, not in some gigantic corporation where they can axe hundreds of people a year, a month even, depending on the company. People that love this just as much as you got a location, filled it with the things you love, and are willing to have a barter system with you so that way you can continue experiencing that. But if you go ahead and give all of your faith to online corporations, to buying digitally, to not having any recourse for yourself, these places will fade away. You won't have your disc replays. You won't have your Topps Trade Center. You won't have your Gaming Anytime. You won't have these small little niche spots that might have titles you never thought you would find again. You won't be able to find Marvel vs. Capcom 2 digitally anywhere because of licensing reasons. That's gone. You won't be able to find Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, the digital game, because of legal reasons. It's gone. But if you go to one of these brick and mortar stores, scour the earth, turn it into a little adventure for yourself, if you're a collector, if you just love it that much, if you want to relive it, you can do that. And then chances are you can find those titles somewhere. Have an interaction with someone, a real person, maybe make a friend, and after that, you got a new spot to go to that you know are filled with people like you, like-minded, common interests, somewhere you can go, kick back, have a good time, sift through old memories. Once again, those options are gone online. So, with all of those reasons, tell me, what do you think about brick and mortar stores and physical copies as opposed to the major corporations only going digital? Is it something that you can vibe with? Do you disagree with it? Have you supported one staunchly over the other? Let me know your opinions. And please like, share, subscribe, and hit that bell icon for notifications so you never miss a video from me. This is the Video Game Guru, signing off.